All right. Welcome to the webinar where we're talking all about referrals. We're excited to have you here with us, and we're excited to be hosting. Just a quick note, this webinar is brought to you today by CardTapp, and CardTapp helps sales professionals increase referrals and sales with personalized mobile apps. We've been in business for about 4 years now, and we serve over 10,000 happy customers whose businesses thrive on referrals and connections. And a little about your host today. I have here with me Martin Ramirez, who I've had the pleasure of working with for about 2 years now. Martin is the new CMO at CardTapp, and he brings about 10 years of experience marketing technology and providing consulting services to businesses of all sizes across many industries. And he's also an entrepreneur of his own merit, and of course his most successful ventures were the result of a strong referral network. Also, in case you're wondering or trying to figure out his accent later, he is from Puerto Rico. And a little bit about me. I'm the Senior Marketing Manager here at CardTapp, and I'm also fairly new to the team, bringing with me 6 years in marketing and business development and content production. And if you can't tell from my accent, I'm from an exotic place as well called California. All right, so we're both really passionate about doing referral business right, and we're excited to share with you today. But before we get going, I just want to remind you we are going to have an open Q&A at the end of the presentation, so please be sure to jot down any questions in the comment section over here on the left, and as we go along so we can make sure we address those at the end. All right, so today we're going to introduce a framework that we developed based on some of the strongest tactics and lessons that we've learned from CardTapp over the past 4 years, helping our 10,000 customers grow their book of business. And we want to help you learn from what we've learned to speed up your referral process and build a bigger and more powerful network. We love referrals, but why do we love referrals so much? Couple of things here. So they're more likely to close. We know that they close faster and they cost less. They're less effort to sell, and they're easy to cross-sell. On average, about 2/3 of all the consumers in the world make purchases based on someone they know recommending or vouching for a particular product or service. 2/3.
Let's pause for a second. That is 2/3 of your customer acquisition taking place because someone else vouched for you, like Fancy said earlier. What's interesting about this fact is that you seldom control those interactions. Heck, you don't even know if a referral happened until those individuals who now have your contact information get in touch with you.
Yeah. From our observations, top performers who know how to get the most value out of referrals, they tend to fall into one or two of 4 different buckets. One would be that they have referral partners already. Another would be that they get referrals from past clients. A third would be that they market to their existing network. Or lastly, they buy and they close internet leads. So you can think for a second about which of these 4 buckets you would fall into.
And as you're looking at those general buckets for generating referrals, you can start seeing that there is a big pitfall in this process. I mean, most people still go about it by buying a bunch of business cards and handing them out to their referral partners. Yep. And maybe out of the hundreds that you give out, you get 5 calls translated into a relevant conversation. Or maybe you're introduced to someone over a networking event and you have a great conversation. And again, you give the business card or exchange your contact information, but realize that seldom is the case that people get in touch with you. This is not the best use of your time and your money, but it's a reality on how we are still doing business and making connections today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just as a quick example, here's a little case study for you. So this is Jennifer, a not so experienced real estate broker who's been going at it for about 2 years. And she's getting about 2% of her customers from referral business. Now, she's a hard worker. She sets aggressive goals, and she's seen some success so far. Maybe she's touching base with prospects, maybe 5 prospects every day, passing out 100 business cards every week, making lots and lots of phone calls. Now, what we're looking at here is the percentage of referral business that the average real estate professional drums up at about 2 years of experience, like what Jennifer has. So Jennifer's busting her butt, but she's only average. 2%, which is the amount of referral business that Jennifer's getting, is the average volume of referrals for the real estate broker who has the same amount of experience as Jennifer, according to the NAR's annual profile for home buyers and sellers. So she's spending a lot of sweat and a lot more money right now trying to drum up new business because her referral network just isn't very strong. So if we follow with the NAR statistics, in about 10 years, when she's more seasoned and more experienced, she's been in her industry for over 10 years now, she's only getting 22% of her business from referrals. She's established, she's built a good network probably, but 20% more is all that she's getting for being in the business for another 10 years. If you are in sales, you know it's rarely the case that you've been in the same business for that long, because life happens. You switch jobs sometimes, and every time you leave one job, you also leave behind your book of business. So by now, Jennifer should have built one really killer network.
So now, the reality of Jennifer's business is that, yes, she's generating more volume through referrals, and her business is growing to an extent, but she's now facing a new set of problems. She's way more dependent on referrals. Referrals are about a quarter of all her business. Think about the importance of referrals in her pipeline. So without the new referral leads, her practice will suffer significantly. Mm-hmm. Keep in mind that these statistics that Francis has been sharing with us come from the real estate industry, but we've seen the same patterns over and over across many industries. Businesses live or die by referrals.
Yeah.
But going back to Jennifer, let's give her some credit because she's worked extremely hard to get where she is, and she's done a lot of things right. She attended all kinds of networking events. She even hosted some of those events. She worked her butt off to establish really good rapport and mutual respect over time. She has shown to people that she's knowledgeable about her profession. She's an expert of her domain. So when people have a question about the real estate industry or anything adjacent to Jennifer's expertise, they don't even Google it anymore. They try to find her attention and try to ask the questions to Jennifer directly. So at the end of the day, she's over 10 years, she's been working extremely hard to build trust and let people know that she is the one true source of the truth that they should go for when they have any questions she can answer.
Yeah. So then why would it be the case that she is just performing at an average level?
That is a great question. And like Jennifer, we have many people who are probably asking themselves follow-up questions. What am I doing that's not working? Why am I putting a lot of sweat and effort into things that are not efficient? My business is not growing, and all of a sudden I have more things to manage, more channels to be concerned about. Why some of my peers are outperforming me? I'm smarter than them. I'm doing better things with my marketing. I'm doing better things in catering experiences and throwing better events. But why am I not there? So how can I do a better job? And how can I become a top performer? Mm-hmm. And let's go back to that networking event we all been into, and Jennifer has been there, Fancy, I've been there. We celebrate giving out those business cards. We feel excited when we get back to the office and we have a stack, a new deck of cards, if you will. But the reality is, and business cards are garbage. They seldom provide any business value, but that initial excitement that you get when you open the new box of cards that you got from the new gig or the rebranding exercise you went through.
Yep.
But let me tell you, we're not just only bashing on business cards for no reason. It is extremely hard to prioritize your follow-ups. Now you go back to the office after the networking event on Friday, this Monday morning, you kind of remember the key conversations you had, but how do you know which buyer is the most qualified? How do you know which one of those conversations has the highest likelihood of converting into real business? You cannot do that with a business card.
Yeah.
It also it doesn't give you the ability to track conversations that are not happening, or to listen into conversations that are not happening when you are no longer there. Like, think about it. Like, you met someone at the event, you gave them your card, you left because you had a family gathering that evening, and that someone is now talking to someone they met or someone they knew already, and your business card has been forwarded to a new individual. There is no way you will have visibility into those conversations until that new person decides to get in touch with you.
Yeah.
And that is horrible from a sales perspective, because now we know how much we detest to be just waiting for the phone to ring. We are salespeople. We are not passive individuals. We need to get in control of the follow-up. We need to know how to prioritize them, and we need to be able to establish context based not only on the conversations that I was a part of, but those adjacent in subsequent conversations that took place after the initial interaction that you or I had with a prospect.
Yeah. So Jennifer's overarching problem is something that we know as missed opportunities. So basically, these are opportunities that you could have turned into revenue for your business, but for some reason or another, you didn't.
And Fancy, the reality about missed opportunities is that they can happen for a big number of reasons, like not being at the right place at the right time, not being available when your prospect needed you, delivering a perception of misalignment between the business value of what you have to offer and the perception of the problem that the prospect has. Mm-hmm. The loss of a potential referral is the most detrimental kind of loss to your business, because the cost to acquire that very same opportunity elsewhere is way much higher.
That's true. Yeah. So just in short, missed opportunities in your referral process, they're going to slow business growth and increase your client acquisition costs. So these are problems that we're trying to avoid.
So now, going back to Jennifer, and many people still these days in 2016, part of the reason we're seeing a big volume of missed opportunities is because her referral network is outdated. It's an old way of interacting and making connections with people. It is an enclosed ecosystem. So she built great connections with people in her immediate network and people who are in her industry or adjacent industries, but she's making connecting with new people extremely hard. So basically, I know Jane, or I know Fancy and Jennifer, and we've been in business for 5 years. We know of each other. We email each other. We facilitate connections through LinkedIn and whatnot. But we're not provoking serendipity, if you will, and making sure that we can bring people that might have an interest in what we have, but we don't even know they exist. So a lot of companies need this referral network to go beyond the current frontier, if you will, that they have, because their businesses stay afloat because of this source of revenue. But most referral processes are clunky and leave a lot of missed opportunities on the table.
Yeah, that's exactly why we built the mobile client acquisition framework, because we believe that there is a better way to get referral business. So this framework, the MCA framework, helps illuminate blind spots in your referral process so that you can eliminate those troubling missed opportunities.
I'll repeat that. The framework was created so you can now see what are your blind spots in the referral process that you created for your business, and so you can eliminate those missed opportunities, because no one here is in the business of leaving money on the table.
All right, so let's look for some of those blind spots. So with this framework, you'll find blind spots to discover where you're missing opportunities to build a better referral network and ultimately close more deals. So today, I know it's a little bit sad, we only have time to dig into this first pillar of the framework, removing roadblocks. So we'll start here. The big idea is that we want to figure out how to find and remove roadblocks so that you can connect with more referral prospects and partners, earn their permission to inform them, and equip them to provide you with more referrals so that you can ultimately grow your business and grow your revenue.
So before we can go ahead and figure out how to remove these roadblocks, so we can help people better connect with the individuals that need them the most, and inform, because now you're curating your content and equipping people to connect you to others who might need your services. We have a very simple and present question. What are roadblocks?
Yeah, great question too. So roadblocks are something we define as obstacles or some kind of friction that you place between yourself and your intended audience. So in our case, the people who could be growing your business, namely prospects, referral leads, and referral partners.
And the thing about these obstacles or friction points is that they could be something like having broken links on your website, all contact information floating around there on the web or in your old business cards, or even something as simple as not answering your phone or email when someone needs you the most.
Yeah. All right, so going from top to bottom here, step 1 to remove roadblocks is be available to connect. So you want to make sure that you're making yourself available to your customers. And there's two sides to this coin. You want to make sure that they can reach out to you when they want to, but you also want to make sure that you can reach out when you want to. So to find blind spots for ways that you're not being available, you might ask yourself some questions like, what roadblocks are in my referral process that keep my clients from being able to connect with me? Or do I have outdated contact information floating out there? Or how can I make myself more accessible when my prospects need me? Or what friction am I leaving between me and my referral leads or referral partners? Or even what's confusing or what's clunky about the process that I'm creating for my referral partners that's inhibiting them from being able to send me more business?
So to recap that, very simple, guys. Let's work on making yourself more available. And I get it. There is life beyond work and there are other priorities that we have. Making yourself available doesn't mean you're going to be on the phone 24/7. We have to start using technology in a way that can put us in front of the right people whenever they need us. Consolidate where you're pointing people. And I'm going to make a parenthesis in here and bring some of the experiences that I gathered in my previous gigs, consulting a bunch of businesses of many sizes. I get it. You spend a lot of time and effort learning how to do email marketing. Then social came up and you have your Facebook page, you work on your LinkedIn profile. So you're now trying to put all of those potential touch points in front of people so they use them and you kind of see an ROI and whatnot. You have to help people identify which one of those channels is the best way for them to get in touch with you.
Yep.
You're spreading yourself a little bit too thin by blasting information and then making your potential customers or even your referral partners know where to find you at any given point in time when your name comes up in conversation. Mm-hmm. Now that we're talking about social, remember, connect with people on LinkedIn. And we always say connect. We didn't say pester. There is a right and elegant way of doing LinkedIn. Make sure you're using that network in the right way. Exchange phone numbers. And think about when you leave your current company or your business goes to a new direction, how can you keep nurturing the relationships that you built beyond the constraints of your scope of work as of today?
Exactly. Making sure that your prospects can still get in touch with you after you leave is huge. And it also has to do with you being able to make that connection when you leave a company. So just as an example, I was doing some business development for about 4 years with a company, and when that contract ended, I left behind so many email addresses of people in my network that I worked really hard to build. And even though I had connected with some of those people on LinkedIn, a lot of the time I couldn't remember their name or their company, and I wanted to just be able to do a search through emails for context of a conversation that we'd had, but I couldn't because I used a particular email address and I didn't have access to that email address anymore. What I wish I would have done is had those emails forwarded or filtered through a personal email address as well, so I would have had access to that information down the line. So you want to make sure that you protect your referral pipeline and make sure that you are able to make that follow-up happen too. All right, so let's jump down to the next row here under remove roadblocks. Know the customer. The idea here is to know what your customer wants so that you can inform them. So you would think through what roadblocks you might be inadvertently putting in front of your referral partners and potential customers because of the information that you're not sharing. So basically thinking, what information are they looking for that you're not providing?
Correct. And so at the end of the day, what we're trying to address is to help you better position yourself in your market so then your referral partners can remain interested in what you have to say and engage with you because you're constantly providing relevant information to the conversations they are finding themselves into. So I do recommend that we all have some sort of content mapping exercise where it's very simple. It might sound complicated, a little bit too much marketing lingo here, but follow up for a second. Bear with me for a second here. It's as simple as looking back how many years you've been in your industry and write down the questions that you're usually being asked when you first interact with a prospect, when you're in the middle of the relationship prior to making a buy decision, and then what are the constraints or concerns people have before they make the purchase. So take all of those questions and consider them as potential roadblocks and or the reason someone might decide to take their business elsewhere, and address those questions and leverage all of the channels that we talked about before and curate that content, but put it out there and make sure people can always find the answers to the most important questions for them to decide to do business with you or not.
Yep, I totally vouch for that content mapping exercise. It's just having a real inventory of what kinds of materials you have out there all over the web, especially as your business grows and the people in your network who are talking about you also grows. Maybe your business starts having more referral partners, more employees. You want to make sure that all the information and materials, that content that you're putting out there is actually helpful to your customers and to your referral partners. All right, so let's jump down to the last row here. Offer recognition and rewards to equip your customers and referral partners. These are some of the easiest roadblocks to remove from your referral partners and clients who could become referral partners. A little gratitude goes a long way for establishing rapport and building your referral network. So where's the credit due? Who do you need to thank?
And Fancy, I want to have a quick disclaimer, if you will, for rewards and recognition. We have thousands of members and prospects in many industries that are regulated in how rewards and recognition can happen. But rewarding someone or saying thanks can happen in so many other ways than just a monetary reward. Social equity is extremely important when we are getting referrals from individuals. You made me look good when you refer me to the right person. And I help by serving someone through what I do. They are happy, you look great. Let's just say thanks to each other, right? Let's build rapport with the people that we are introducing to the no longer enclosed ecosystem of our referral relationship that we established over the past few years. And at the end of the day, remember, 6 months down the road, the person who sent you a referral in a very, very organic way, you might find yourself in a conversation where now you are the person that can make the connection for them to generate new business as a payback. And it's very organic, it's very natural. And that way we make an investment in our own ecosystem, in our own industry by helping others the same way we got helped before.
Yeah, totally. In my opinion, this is one of the clearest differences between an amateur and a pro. Leaders are willing to help people. The givers are the ones who are the pros. All right, so we did promise to give a special offer to everybody who registered for the webinar today. Go ahead and take this, Martin.
Yeah, thanks, Fancy. So very simple, guys. I'm really thankful that you joined the webinar and that you stay with us for these past 30 minutes. Let me tell you about CardTapp. We help you generate more business with personalized mobile apps. So we agree that business cards are garbage. That's simple. We are no longer going to get excited when we get more paper on our desk. So we created a referral magnet which replaces your business card with all the information, so you no longer have to reprint materials when you change jobs or your phone number changes, and can help you curate a lot of that content and make sure that you're making yourself available and becoming a trusted source of information for people who might need your services, and then in turn making it super easy for your referral partners and existing customers to refer you to new people that might get benefit in what you have. We also have an amazing tracking capability that will let you know how interested someone is in what you have to say and offer, and what is their level of qualification, so then you can go and prioritize your follow-ups. It's all about putting you in control of those key conversations that might translate into new business and making it super, super easy for people to connect you to others that might have the problem you solve today. And one more capability that I think is extremely relevant for those of us who are hustling and growing our pipelines, real-time notifications. You will know when someone is using your app, no matter where they are. You will know when you get a referral. You don't have to wait for your friend to send an email and an introduction. No, your friend will send the app, you will get a notification, you pick up the phone, you're a hustler as well, and you say, hi, I know Fancy referred me to you, how can I help? So going back to the offer, for those of you who registered and attended the webinar, we have a 25% off if you go to cardtapp.com/buy and use the promo code MCA webinar.
Yep. All right, well, I'll open up for our QA. We've already got a couple questions in here. Let's see. Will this webinar be recorded? How do I get it? We are recording the webinar today. We'll shoot it out in a follow-up email to everybody who registered, whether or not you attended the event today, and that 25% discount is also available to anybody, whether they registered or whether they attended or not, as long as they registered. All right. When will the app be available for a tablet?
I'll take that one. It's a great question. Our technology works across many platforms. Right now, the main priority given or based on customer feedback and how people do business is that being on somebody else's smartphone is number one. Tablets are an interesting avenue that we might explore. We have a very robust product roadmap that we're constantly investing in and releasing either fixes and new capabilities. So as soon as we realize that tablets are a significant medium to syndicate your content and make sure that we are helping you generate more referrals, it's something that might increase in priority.
Yep. All right. Next question here. How much content do I need to do MCA? I don't publish a lot. That's a good question too. I would say revisit that content mapping framework that we mentioned before. Basically what you want to do is think about the customer journey from beginning of their first interaction with you to the point where they're going to buy or the point where they're going to repurchase from you. You want to think through what are some of those key questions that most of my contacts, most of my customers, most of my referral partners, they all have these same questions. And look through the materials that you're putting out there. I mean, it could just be four pieces of really key information that help your customer or referral partner get the answers to the questions that they need addressed.
Yeah, and Fancy, those are excellent points. And we have some people that are being backed by a lot of marketing resources within their companies and whatnot, so they can go to their websites and choose different pages that might be relevant for a conference that you're going. But we also have people who don't have big marketing budgets, right?
Yeah.
And what I always tell them is your phone number is a piece of content.
Yeah.
The fact that you're making it easy for people to share your information, that is a great starting point. So if you have a phone, if you have a smartphone, we're good to go. And we will help you make sure that you can then expand from there. But content is something that we already do, be that in speaking engagement, be that when we go networking. So you probably have more information to publish than you think.
Yeah, so true. All right, let's go to the next one here. When will we receive information about joining part 2 and 3 in this series? So great question. We are going to have a follow-up webinar to this that will address the rest of the MCA framework. We'll send that out in the follow-up email with the link to this playback video from this webinar today, and we'll also include some handy resources and stuff in that. So if you've registered, you'll get the webinar information in the future in that email, and then we'll also be posting it on our blog. We'll post it on our social channels. If you do go to our website and you sign up for our newsletter, that's a great way to get a good consolidated chunk of information from us every single month. All right, let's jump to the next question here. Aren't you guys selling the CardTapp app? Why are you talking to me about this framework? You want to take this one?
Yes. Next question. No. All joking aside, I mean, yes, we're salespeople. We have built an amazing solution that helps other salespeople be more effective at their job. And that is a fundamental reality of why we're investing in sharing a lot of the knowledge that we've gathered over the past 4 years. From an educational point of view, the way we look at it is we have thousands, over 10,000 salespeople that are actively getting value from our tech solutions and support and services that we provide. So we ask them is why is this useful? And not only that influences our product roadmap, but we get lessons and we get to better understand the problem and the solutions to those problems. So it is our duty to make sure that we not only create amazing technology that can help you grow your business, but that we can give you the best practices and those philosophies that can help a lot of people evolve the way we're doing business. Is taking that notion of a business card and put them in a time machine and bring them now to 2016. So we learn a lot from our customers, and we want to share that knowledge with people so then we can be more successful at launching CardTapp better across many companies, including yours.
Exactly. All right. Can I replace my LinkedIn social profiles and other marketing efforts with the CardTapp app? So you could, but you probably don't want to. So what I would do is continue to maintain the number of channels that, social media channels, or maybe you have a blog. Maintain the ones that you feel like you can do effectively. Don't try to take on too many, but if you have a huge team, of course you want to do as many channels as possible so that you can reach as many people as possible. But if you're a small company or you're just a solo guy or a girl, you'll want to make sure that you are doing the few channels that you can do most effectively and focus on those.
Correct. And on that note, like, these are not mutually exclusive. Yeah. LinkedIn solves a very different problem that you might be able to solve with Twitter if you're using that channel. And those social media platforms solve very different problems that you will try to tackle through your blog. And so is CardTapp, right? It's a matter of helping you consolidate all the great information that you already have there and make it extremely easy for people to find it and easier for people to refer you to new business.
Yep. All right, I'm just going to take one last question here from Cesar. One of my friends added the app on their phone from the App Store. Can they still use it?
So our app has been syndicated through app stores, both Google Play as well as the App Store for Apple, iTunes. And the answer is yes. I do need to know a little bit more about how it was installed and if the account is active and whatnot. So the most important thing is that, Cesar, I will put you in touch with our customer success team that is here to help all of our active members throughout the length of their subscription. So I will connect you to the right people and make sure that you, your friend, your colleagues, everyone has the right level of access, and we are helping you get the most out of the service.
All right, that's all we have time for today. Watch for our follow-up email. We'll have the discount code for attending today. We'll have the playback for this video, info about the next webinar, and some other helpful resources, I'm sure. So
cool. Thanks
again for joining us today, and a big thank you to Martin for co-hosting and bringing his knowledge to the table. All right, this has been great. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.